This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm doing well.
Why are you so soft-spoken?
I'm just trying to cultivate a new personality where I'm
Well, yeah.
a little less excitable.
An even more boring personality, you say?
I don't think I'll be more boring in the content. I think the content of what I say will be just as boring as it ever was.
Oh, okay.
Just as exciting as it ever was.
But now,
I'm trying to be a little more
the voice
measured.
will fit the content better. People won't be tricked into thinking it's something interesting just because you're excitable.
Do you always have to belittle me? Say mean things?
I'm just giving you honest feedback, Tim. You said you wanted some honest feedback, some honest criticism.
I never ever asked you for that even once. Have you been operating for the last decade under the assumption that I have been craving honest feedback from you?
No, I thought it was a recent thing.
No, never. I'm trying new things, Tom, and I would appreciate some support from a coworker. Well,
you won't get it here, but thanks for asking anyway.
How are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good, Tim. Thanks for asking. I had a weird thing.
You said that as if I didn't ask you.
No, I said it.
You said it in a passive-aggressive way.
No, you just take everything.
The tone that you took. God, no, you got me back in my excitable mode.
Less than 90 seconds, I was able to do it. Able to crack it.
You're Tim, good friend, Tom.
I had a weird thing happen. What do you think the etiquette is in this situation? So the other day, I got a card slid under my door, under my front door.
And a greeting card or a credit card?
Yeah, like a greeting card. And I thought, I wish it were a credit card. Can you imagine? I'd go paint the town red.
You would cut up your cocaine with it and snort it.
No, I'd use it. Why would I?
You'd use it to cut up cocaine and snort it. You drugs man.
I use an old Blockbuster card to cut up cocaine. So it was a greeting card, and I don't know why, but I ignored it for a while, just because I was like, this is probably bad news. I'm not interested in this.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Was your name written on it?
No.
So it was a blank envelope.
Yeah. Honestly, I assumed it was like around this time of year, the staff of the building I live in, they give out a Christmas card, but really it's just a Christmas card that inside has an envelope to put a tip in for them.
And you would rather die than give a gratuity to a working man, right?
No, it was just, I was like, all right, that's what that thing is. Like, I'm in no rush to open that.
Yeah, Tom's never in a rush to open up his old wallet for anybody.
So
unless it's $600 for a video game system.
It was $500.
He'll wake up at 3
Tim.
in the morning to make sure he orders it online.
I didn't have to wake up at 3 in the morning, Tim. I ordered it from my toilet. That's what the modern world's like nowadays.
At 3 a.m. You're generally on your toilet at 3 a.m.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. I didn't get up especially for it. So finally, I open it up, check it out, and it's a note from somebody who lives down the hall. And immediately I'm like, oh, no, because I'm just what?
Yeah, your dog barks.
I know.
Your dog barks bad. Your dog barks bad whenever you leave your apartment.
Yes, my dog has incredible separation anxiety. And it's gotten worse over the years, and it's gotten especially bad now that I'm home 24 hours a day for the most part. So if I do leave, then that's just a huge shock.
In the before times, Tom, I would come over to your apartment sometimes to record these episodes.
Yeah.
We'd finish recording, then we'd go to a bar, to make merry, right?
To celebrate another episode well done.
Yeah, to celebrate by getting blackout drunk and trying to forget the previous hour and 3 minutes. And as as soon as you shut your door, I would hear your dog start barking. And then sometimes I'd leave my bag at your place. So I'd come back before going home and your dog would still be barking.
Yeah, sometimes
an hour
that
or
happens.
two later.
Yeah.
So is the card about that happening?
No, I kind of assumed it would be something like that. But again, I haven't really left my home for more than 5 minutes in a while. But it wasn't. But it was dog related, Tim. Very astute of you. It was this woman who lives down the hall who, I don't know by face, by recognition.
Why would you know your neighbors, Tom?
It's New York City. Do you know your neighbors?
I recently moved.
Because your neighbors got a little too friendly. Well, I know other people in the building. Other people that have dogs. I see them walking. So, we'll say hi to each other.
You'll reluctantly say hi to them.
But I know my immediate neighbor to the left of me. The other apartments I feel change all the time. Also, there was this guy that
transients. Yeah, you live in a flop house.
Yeah. Also, there was
essentially
this guy that lived down the hall, and he was real friendly when he moved in, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Tomas," and I was like, "Oh, me too. I'm Tom." And boy, did his face drop. He was so mad. I was like, no, it's the same name. And his entire personality changed because I said we had the same name, and he was never nice to me again.
Does your name have an accent in it, Tom?
It could.
No, it doesn't. It could.
It did in Spanish class in high school, Tim.
Yeah. You know what my Spanish teacher called me?
What?
It was supposed to be Timoteo.
Uh-huh.
But she said Timofeo because feo means ugly. And she made everybody in the class call me Timofeo.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And what grade was this?
8th grade?
Yeah, 8th grade, every boy is hideously ugly, so she was right.
Oh my God, yeah. And she was trying to hurt my feelings.
But anyway, so I don't know this woman. And she lives down the hall, but I can't really imagine what anybody who lives down the hall looks like. I mean, I could imagine, I could come up with something, but it probably wouldn't be accurate. But she said, "I'm so sorry. My dog peed on your welcome mat. I am out buying you a new one now." And since I had left the card there for a couple of hours, didn't look at it, I opened the door and sure enough, there's a new welcome mat. Now, was it presumptuous for her to just throw out my old welcome mat?
No. Here's the thing. Number one, you have a welcome mat?
Yeah, well, it's just a regular mat. Tim, a lot of things have changed here because of COVID. Started wiping my shoes before I go inside.
Yeah, I feel like this is the time to bring in your welcome mat because you're not welcoming people into your home.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm sending out the wrong signal.
Counterintuitive, yeah. Number two, just real quickly, if your dog peed on somebody else's welcome mat, what would you do? You'd run away.
Yeah, I'd run away.
You wouldn't own up to it. They bought a greeting card about it?
No, it was a card that they had, stationary.
Okay. Okay, and here's the other thing.
Yes.
In New York City, your welcome mat, your apartment building is in the communal hallway, which I've never seen a hallway. I've been in fancy apartment buildings and I've been in garbage apartment buildings. Never, all the hallways are just crappy and shitty. So it's your one possession that you leave outside in this crappy place. There's nothing that has sentimental value. It's oh no, this was my grandfather's welcome mat. You wouldn't put that in the hallway.
That's true. I will say, the welcome mat could have very easily just been washed. Honestly, if she hadn't told me anything, I probably wouldn't have noticed anything. Right. But you definitely, it's like a rubber and, whatever fabric. It's meant to be thrown in a washing machine. That would have been 100% fine.
I think it's too sturdy to be thrown in a
you can throw an industrial washing machine.
Where are you gonna find one of those?
in Industry
Well, that's
City.
where you need to wash your underpants.
Right, to get rid of the skid marks, I need to go to the industrial district.
Yeah.
Boys, I got a tough one for you.
Whenever you walk in there, like, Mamma Mia.
Oh, here we go again. But it was like a completely different type of welcome mat than the one I previously had.
Better or worse?
I like it better, but I think it's subjective whether you think it's a better or worse one.
Is it more heavy duty or less heavy duty?
I think nicer, but less heavy duty.
Is there messaging?
This is
on
not
it?
the type of welcome mat this is like one of those brown, like, looks like it's made out of hay type ones.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah. They're nice, but like that you can't throw in a washing machine. The old one
nor
I
should
had.
you.
Yeah, the old one I had, you could throw in a washing machine.
But you never did.
I could have if a dog peed on it. I'm just saying I thought it was presumptuous to throw the old one out, to throw out my property.
Yeah, but it's property that you left in a communal space, so it's property you don't care about.
See, but
if
that's
there's
also
property that you
that's
left in a communal space and a dog pissed on, I think we can all agree it's not valuable enough for you to save.
Well, that's what I was going to say, that if this happened in reverse, that's the line of thought that I would use to not claim responsibility for my dog peeing on it, because I'd be like, well, it's in communal space.
What you need to do, the proper thing to do, because like the reason she acted quick, right? She wrote the note and got rid of the other thing is because you, poor sap, not knowing that a dog pissed on your if you're going to leave the apartment,
right,
and she's out buying a replacement and you step on that, you're stepping in dog piss, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what size dog this was, so it might have been like a veritable lake of dog piss in this
Yeah,
thing.
it might have been a freaking Marmaduke that pissed all over the thing.
Yeah, it's true. I wasn't thinking about that.
I think the proper thing to do is to take that, hold that.
Ransom.
No, hold it in escrow in some third location, right? Where if that welcome mat did have some sort of sentimental value to you,
right?
Like she could be like, "Hey, yeah, I'll get it professionally cleaned at the industrial washing machine."
What if it
store.
was a custom mat that I had cut just to fit
What was
my
it?
door?
Did it have the Tasmanian devil and say "Go away" on it?
No, that would have been then I would have been mad. And actually, you know what? The old one didn't say anything, and now the new one says welcome. So she's inviting a pandemic into my home.
Oh, you know what? It might be a vampire situation. She might be a vampira. And now she's like, oh, now you technically have invited me into your home because it says welcome.
I didn't even think of that, but you're probably right. It happened during the daytime, and, coincidentally, I didn't see it happen. I didn't see her put it out there. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to stay inside at night from now on, just to be safe.
Stock up on garlic and wooden stakes.
I have regular steaks. Are those okay?
Wooden stakes. Silver bullets. Or is that werewolves?
That's werewolves. I do have I have a lot of silver bullets, though, just in case. All right, Tim, this is our 2020 top toys for 2020. And you were just mentioning how this is an odd topic to do. And I'm just thinking about the person who's listening to this show for the first time on Christmas Eve, desperately, it's the first Christmas after the divorce. He forgot about they had to get presents himself this year. He's desperately out on Christmas Eve trying to find something. Well, let me search the Apple Podcast directory, see if there's any advice. And he's listening to this, banging on his steering wheel. Get to the point. Tell me about the toys.
If he's downloading a podcast on Christmas Eve because he forgot gifts, it's like, you know where to get toys. Actually, I don't know if I know where to get toys these days. Toys R Us, doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
KB doesn't exist
no.
anymore, thanks to Mitt Romney.
The biggest toy store nowadays is Walmart.
Yeah.
And I assume Amazon's second.
Yeah. It's a real bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that there are really any purely toy stores nowadays.
At least not chains, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There will always be Duncan's Toy Chest in New York City.
Tim, I have bad news for you about Duncan's Toy Chest. FAO Schwartz in New York City's gone. I feel like we talk about this every year, but
Look,
it
Tom,
is crazy.
It's the holidays. This is it's the string of holidays shows, Tom.
Yeah.
We can say the same stuff every year. It's fine. People like that. It's comfort food. I watch Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation every year, right?
Yeah.
We're fine. A Christmas Story.
We should just put out old episodes then.
We should put out the audio from Home Alone.
That we're not allowed to do. That's illegal. Disney owns that now, Tim. They'll come and take both of us in the
back
night.
when it was Fox, it would have been fine.
Right. Disney will take it personally. But yeah, well, excuse me. The list I was looking at was from Walmart because I assume that, they would know. Although they might just be like, yeah, here's the top toys, and it's a bunch of shit they've had collecting dust on shelves for the past decade that they're desperately trying to get rid of.
I think a fair amount of thought and synergistic thinking goes into the Walmart hottest toys of 2020 list.
In what way? Stuff that they have in stock that they're not going to say like, oh, here's the hottest toy, and we don't have it.
Tom, I'm seeing a lot of Walmart exclusives on this list.
Yeah.
I'm sure
maybe it's because they saw these toys and they said, we got to have them all. These are such great toys. Our customers will love them.
When I was in college in 2000, I took a business course in the vaunted Stern School of Business, Tom.
For Howard Stern, one of New York City's most famous men.
He's also pretty rich, Tom. He's a good businessman.
That's true. He's got XM radio paying him millions of dollars for a show I don't think anyone actually listens to anymore.
I don't think anybody knows how to listen to it.
No. I had XM radio when I first bought my car. It came with like a 6-month trial, and I would listen to Howard Stern while I was parking my car, moving my car, and I enjoyed it for that, but I wasn't about to pay $15 a month to listen to that.
Yeah, and I think there was also like the base tier of Sirius XM radio
didn't include Stern.
Does not include Howard Stern.
Yeah, I don't know if that's changed.
That's a premium add-on.
Right, but you can't just buy that either. You have to buy the whole thing. I remember when
you have to get like the Opie and Anthony channel, or like the Opie channel, because Anthony's been like exiled, I think.
Yeah, I remember when when that all, I guess not when it first happened, but like fairly soon after that, I was working and I was a supervisor, and there was an employee that was like a very, very big Howard Stern fan. And he would like bring in like a portable, Sirius XM radio to listen to it in the back. And I had to be like, man, you can't play that here. This is
whenever you tried to discipline someone, was he in the back going, Baba Booey, Baba Booey?
Yeah. And I was like, who's saying that? Yeah. No, but I was always like, look, yeah, Howard Stern's great. You can't play that though in a workplace. That's, gonna rightfully offend some people.
Yeah, get a job down at the docks if you want to play that at work.
Yeah, exactly. Then you won't have to pay for...
Become a dock worker.
But I felt bad because I was like, it seems pretty obvious to me you spent like $700 on this portable XM radio that I didn't even know they made, just so you could bring it in the back here and listen to it. But
you can listen to that stuff through an app now, right?
Nowadays, yeah. But this was back when like all that stuff first came out, and they were like, yeah, we'll put it in cars, we'll put it in hi-fi receivers.
Yeah, I remember I was considering it at one point because I was like, the radio. It was just back in the days where it's like the radio only plays garbage,
right?
And it's like Sirius XM, great. The Billy Joel station. Like, yeah, I can play Billy Joel on my own time.
Right.
Anyway. That wasn't a coherent thought, but you know what I meant. No?
I don't. What do you mean you can play Billy Joel on your own time?
I guess that didn't come through, but it's not important to explain. I remember considering it, and I was like, I think it was like $23.99 a month in like 2006, and I was like, all right, I'll pay that for radio, I guess.
Yeah, I'm working at my first job, and this seems like a good way to spend my money.
Yeah, and they were like, you just need this hi-fi system that'll cost, $1,700, but you can hook it up to your
and it doesn't come with the speakers or anything.
No,
and if you want to listen to CDs through the same thing, you'll have to buy another attachment.
So I was in this business class in the early 2000s, Tom.
Yeah, and
the much to my chagrin, I was in a business class, right?
Right, yeah.
Like on an airplane when I'm in business class. I'm like, this is pretty nice. But
right, this is
college.
Right, and you were like a hippie in college. You were occupying Wall Street.
Yeah, before people were even occupying Wall Street.
Right, you were down there getting lunch from time to time.
The lens we were looking at the business world through was the toy industry. And suddenly, old Timmy's ears perked up.
You thought you were going to get free toys in college.
Tom, I got to go to the Javits Center Toy Fair, and I did get some free toys there.
Wow.
So, but the thing that they said, like, this was 2002 or 2003, I think, and like the whole point of the lesson that we learned over a semester is that like Walmart is squeezing all the toy manufacturers, and pretty soon they will be the biggest toy, the biggest place to buy toys, and probably in a couple decades the only place to buy toys. They weren't smart enough to see Amazon coming. Yeah. But other than that, like everything they did, they were like, yep. This is exactly how they do it. They get it. They get these exclusives, and if you don't agree to the exclusives, they won't stock any of your stuff.
Right.
And then good luck.
Yeah. Well, and I guess nowadays it's probably not that hard of a decision to go exclusive with them, since it's like, well, where else are you going to sell the stuff anyway?
Amazon.
I've also noticed I've bought, a few toys the past couple of years because I have a young niece now. And
you're also one of those adults that has toys in his home.
Those are collectibles, Tim. Those are different. The toys that I've bought, and like my first inkling is just like, I'm just being old. But they seem very cheap nowadays, just like very poorly made. And not like when we were kids, they made them great. Like they were made like shit back then too. But they seem like even lower quality plastic and things like that. I
think it's just been on a steady decline.
Yeah.
Because like when you go to the Museum of the Moving Image, Tom, and you go to the Jim Henson exhibit, and you look at like the Rolf puppets that you could buy in 1975.
Right.
It's like almost movie quality.
Look, Tim, I have a feeling what you're talking about doesn't really apply here. You just want to talk about wanting a movie quality Muppet.
No, I think it's a far cry from that to like the Teddy Ruxpins of the 80s.
Right.
Which to whatever's going on now, whatever I'm seeing, which is like 100 times cheaper than even Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah.
So I think it's been like before our time, Tom.
Right.
Like I think in the 50s you could send away for like Howdy Doody doll that was like made by completely handmade by artisan craftsmen.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I mean, on the other, you tried to make fun of me for having toys. And I was going to say that that's kind of the other end of it, where it's like the stuff made for kids is super cheap. And then there is insanely detailed high-end stuff that's made for adults.
Right.
And it just seems like there's not that much in between nowadays.
Like
anymore.
your real doll that you have.
That's not a toy, Tim. I've told you that every time you go to play with it.
I know, you've introduced me to her several times.
Yeah.
How dare you address her? You look her in the eye when you address her.
That's being, yeah, hey, her eyes are up here, Tim. Yeah, I just, I don't know. That was my current take on toys. They seemed easy to break. I don't know. I broke a lot of my niece's toys. She was very upset. And I was like, well, you got to understand. They don't make them like they used to. It's not Uncle Tommy's fault.
Do you want to just like go through some of these toys?
Yeah.
Some of these toys are confusing to me.
Okay.
And not because, like, I understand most of them are licensed toys from, things that
properties
children's
you don't
programming.
understand.
Yeah, like the number one hottest toy on their list, it seems to be, is this Frozen 2 Magic in Motion Elsa doll, right?
Okay, yeah, from the movie Frozen 2.
I get it. Like, I haven't seen Frozen 2. I've seen Frozen 1 only about 16, 17 times, but like, I understand that this is a character from Frozen 2.
And that kids would want that character.
Exactly.
In doll form.
It sings. It moves, I think. Mm-hmm. But I'm not interested in that stuff.
Well, it's not for you.
All right. Blue's Clues is still a thing.
Oh, you had nothing else to say about that? Just that's not to your taste?
Yeah, what, do you want me to say anything?
I don't. Well, I thought you were bringing it up for something other than to say
it was the number one. It was the number one toy on the list. It's gonna be the hottest toy this summer.
Yeah, but it's the hottest toy for children, not for you. And you're just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, no, I was saying what I know. I'm saying that like I understand that like it's not for me.
Right. All right. Then what's the next one?
The Blue's Clues Peekaboo 10-inch feature plush. It's the dog Blue from Blue's Clues,
right?
And his ears cover his eyes, and then they come back up and play peekaboo.
Oh,
I think
that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, save mommy and daddy some peekaboo time.
Tom,
they can go get sauced.
You have a niece. I have a couple nieces and a nephew.
Are you trying to brag? You trying to show me up?
Yeah, I got two more. I'm 2 times the uncle you are. I'm 3 times the uncle you are.
How dare you?
But peekaboo, it's fun at first because you're like, oh, I'm playing with this kid, and like, there's not much you can do to interact with a really small child.
Right. Yeah, you can't really like have a conversation.
I get so friggin' bored playing peekaboo, especially over Zoom these days or FaceTime.
Yeah.
It's look, these kids are great, but like enough is enough already. I'd rather just not talk to them at all.
I recently saw my niece, and she just started playing this game, which was going to the far end of the house and then yelling at the top of her lungs, "Tommy, where are you?" And then I would have to come and be like, "Here I am." And then I would go.
That's not so bad.
I had to get up and go back and forth, like, I don't know, infinite times. Children just don't get tired of things.
No.
It's like, surely by now it's not as funny when I show up. Yeah. But also, like, what am I going to do? Be a jerk and not get up every time?
I wouldn't put it past you, Tom. Maybe this Blue's Clues. Look, is there a way? Mm-hmm. They should make here's $1 million idea, Tom.
Okay.
None of us want to be playing freaking peekaboo with these kids. They outsourced the job to Blue.
Right.
I'm happy that this plush dog with Teddy Ruxpin style insides is gonna play peekaboo with my niece and nephew.
Are you gonna suggest you get like an overseas phone center worker to get on Zoom and play peekaboo with your nieces and nephew?
No, I'm suggesting
for pennies on the dollar.
Instead of a blue peekaboo or a peekaboo blue, you get a peekaboo Tim or peekaboo Tom.
A
plush doll of us that could play peekaboo.
A stuffed doll in your likeness, Tim, is terrifying to a child.
I don't know. My nieces and nephews only know me through Zoom these days.
So they might not see the difference between you and a stuffed doll
When
made
the
to look
stuffed
like
doll
you.
arrives there, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've only seen this guy on
That's
screen."
hey, look, Uncle Tim's in town.
Like when you see Mickey Mouse on TV, and then you go to Disney World, that Mickey Mouse is so much different than the cartoon Mickey Mouse. But when you're 3 years old, you're just like, hey, it's Mickey Mouse. I know that guy from the TV.
Right. Well, and people tell you like, yeah, that's Mickey Mouse, and you're like,
Yeah,
this
so-
doesn't really make sense, but all right. I guess.
Yeah, and I get a
guess,
mechanical plush doll made of myself to play peekaboo, send it to my niece and nephew. My brother tells them, oh, yeah, this is the same guy that you've been playing peekaboo with over FaceTime, and they're none the wiser.
But this new Tim can't do anything other than play peekaboo.
Yeah, right. That's all they want to do. And if they start asking me questions about my job or whatever they ask me on the FaceTime, my brother takes the plush doll away and puts it in the closet.
Yeah, and says, oh, Tim's tired. He has to go to bed now.
Yeah, he's taking a nap.
Tim, let's talk about some of the more unusual toys on this list.
Okay, so the premise of this episode, right, is that the holidays are coming up. You gotta buy.
The
some
holidays are
gifts.
coming up, and we're going to complain about XM radio receivers from 20 years ago.
You have people you need to buy toys for.
Right.
You can't go to a KB Toys thanks to Mitt Romney, but you can't go to the Toys R Us because Jeffrey the Giraffe is a bad businessman.
Bad
You gotta-
business giraffe.
Yeah. And I guess that's what you call a giraffe who's in business, Tom.
Yes.
So what do? You go to Walmart. Mm-hmm. Are we pulling exclusively from Walmart's
No, I
toys?
looked around a little bit. I got stuff from other places
And
too.
you're mostly looking at toys all day, every day anyway, right?
They come across my desk once in a while I'm perusing the internet. But all of these toys, honestly, I hadn't heard about the ones that I've written down on this list. I've noticed a big trend in toys nowadays, Tim, and that's that kids love bodily functions. And there are a lot of toys based around this. And now when we were kids, there were toys based around bodily functions. You know, they were rarer, I feel like, and they were for scummy kids. But now they've gone mainstream.
Yeah, I feel like Nickelodeon almost leaned into this. They were like boogers and maybe some burping.
Right, but
Some light
they drew the line at farting and vomiting.
Yeah, and
pissing.
pooping and peeing were nowhere.
No,
in the
yeah,
mix.
you would never see a Nickelodeon character pooping or peeing on television. That's for sure. But you would if you go to Walmart, Tim, and you check out a toy called Gotta Go Flamingo, singing, dancing, wiggling, and pooping toy.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one.
So this is it's actually like a cute looking flamingo. It's got, it's a bird with a big long neck, and it comes with its own see-through toilet. And on the box, it says, "Feed me, I do a magic poop." And basically the way this thing works is that it comes with like bird seed, and its mouth opens and it goes like, give me food, I'm hungry or whatever. And you pour the bird seed down its gullet. And then pretty soon after that, it goes like, uh-oh, I've got to go. And you got to put it.
Did you watch the interactive video?
I did watch the video. Yeah. So it goes, uh-oh, I got to go. And then you have to put it on the toilet before, God knows what happens if you don't put it on the toilet in time. And then it poops. It makes poops in the toilet. And it sounds like diarrhea when it's doing it, too. They're very wet poops. And
You're really hungry.
The bird.
This interactive video is bonkers, Tom.
Uh-oh, gotta go. Uh-oh, gotta go. Uh-oh, gotta go. Uh-oh, gotta go.
the bird seed turns into poop when it gets into the water of the toilet. But then, and now I'm watching it and I'm thinking like, oh, all right, I hate toys like this. I hated toys like this when I was a kid, where it comes with like a consumable item that isn't replenishable. Right. But that's where I was wrong, because you take the poop out of the toilet and it dries back into the bird seed that you then feed to the flamingo again.
Poop right back to
you
him.
Feed it its own dried poop. And it also...
Only real flamingos operated the same way, right?
They might, for all we know. And on the in the description, it also said, under like features, that it sings a funny toilet song.
Yeah. What a wonderful world this would be if we could keep consuming our waste. Yeah,
it really would be if we were all gotta go flamingos.
Yeah. Tom, did you... These sounds are wild.
Yeah, they leave nothing to the imagination.
Yeah. I might... Tom, there as of this recording, there are only 2 more Gotta Go Flamingos in stock.
Oh, there were 5 earlier, Tim. I think.
Oh, no, there's only 1 left now.
These Gotta Go Flamingos are going fast.
This Gotta Go Flamingo is $64.79.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of crazy about it. Like, it's a funny toy. I get it. But, like, a kid's going to play with that for 5 minutes and then be like, okay, that's all it can do.
Yeah.
At some point, that bird seed's got to stop turning into poop and then back into bird seed, right? Like, that can't be... There's not material like that, is there? That just can be turned from solid to liquid without losing something over and over again?
Water?
You can only freeze water so many times.
That's not true, Tom.
But some of it's going to evaporate. The water's not going to be around forever.
How many times are you going to make this flamingo poop?
For $65, I'm going to be doing it a lot. I'm going to get my money's worth.
Tom, is it wrong that, like, since there's only 1 left, I am compelled to buy this?
Well, at least put it in your cart.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in my cart. All right. I think I should just buy it. Should I insure it for
insure it? Why would you need to insure it?
I don't know. They're offering me a Walmart protection plan powered by Allstate.
Tim, you're not gonna.
I can. I use Allstate for my car insurance. Maybe
you could just roll it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Call up your representative and ask, hey, how much would my rate be if I also added a Gotta Go Flamingo to this?
Comes with the seed.
Yeah, of course it comes with the seed. Where else are you going to find the seed?
That's what I would tell the guy if he was mocking me.
I would see if that insurance covered the seed, because that's where I think you're going to need some help from insurance. Because I'm telling you probably can't go to Walmart and just buy the seed. You got to buy a whole other Gotta Go Flamingo.
Yeah. I'm very close to buying this.
It was on sale earlier. They were like $50 earlier.
All right, I'll wait for it to go back on sale.
Well, it's not going to go back on sale once it's sold out. That's not how things work.
I don't know. I think they might be lying. Tom, can you explain to me what a bop it is?
Twist it, bop it. They were around when we were kids. It was kind of like a Simon Says type thing, but with actions instead of like colored lights.
It was like a stick that had like a thing on it.
Yeah. And it would like tell you to do things like twist it or bop it. And you would follow its commands.
Well, there's a Walmart exclusive Bop It, Star Wars The Mandalorian, The Child.
The child has a name now, Tim.
Bop It.
No, it's not Bop It. It's Grogu.
Yeah, no, I think it's Bop It.
It's Grogu.
Grogu?
Grogu is the name of the child from The Mandalorian. So
spoiler alert.
Start having some respect, please.
There's only 3 of these
Tim, you're
Grogu
being
Bop Its
fooled left and right. You really think that all of Walmart has single digits of these hottest toys? They're
the hottest toys, Tom. This like in 1998 finding a Tickle Me Elmo
Yeah.
at a Walmart, and you're not going to be like, oh, you think that they don't have a Tickle Me Elmo anywhere else?
All right, Tim, buy a Gotta Go Flamingo and a Grogu Bop It.
I don't. Tom, it does say the child and not Grogu.
Well, that's because it was just revealed that that's the child's name, Tim. This last
Well, I'm
week's
concerned
episode.
this might be counterfeit if they don't have the real
They
name.
can't change the boxes that quickly. Come back next year, the box, it will say Grogu on it. If you want to be
It's reasonably
sure.
priced. How much do you think this?
I think I saw it earlier, and it was $15.
Yes, it was $14.88.
Okay. So are you going to
I
talk?
saw it earlier.
Are you going to talk yourself into it because it's reasonably priced?
I mean, maybe.
I'll tell you. I mean that's a better price than the Gotta Go Flamingo. It's not going to be as
Yeah,
impressive.
it's less.
Yeah.
It's considerably less expensive.
Well, and
Now,
I think it's got
this
more.
Baby Yoda doesn't shit on a toilet though.
It's got more longevity than the Gotta Go Flamingo. But the first time you play with this Baby Yoda Bop It, it's not going to be nearly as fun as the first time you play with the Gotta Go Flamingo.
These are building skills. They're building bopping skills, twisting skills.
Oh, there are things teaching you how to use a toilet.
Yeah.
Well, they have another toy that might be for you, Tim. It's a
Okay.
new line of toys called Toilet Ninjas. Some of the names of these toilet ninjas, Tim, TP, Latrine.
I see.
Yeah, Latrine and Rico. But REEKO, like, oh, that reeks.
Clever.
There is also a toy along these same lines, Squeaky the Balloon Dog.
Okay.
It looks like, you know how like a clown will tie balloons into shapes and like make a dog?
Uh-huh.
So it looks like that. It was that artist that makes those and sells them for like millions of dollars.
Yeah, I forget his name.
So it looks like one of those things. But it has like a squeak toy and it responds to the squeak toy and it will do like different tricks or whatever. And you can like make it actually look pretty neat. Like it
Jeff
can.
Koons. I knew it was Jeff Koons. I didn't want to sound stupid if I got it wrong.
I don't think he had a part in Squeaky the Balloon Dog, but it can like pretend to deflate and pretend to inflate. It has like a pump, but apparently if you pump it too much, it says pump in the nose and hear him inflate, but be careful when he's full, he may pee or fart.
Yeah, there are images on the Walmart website. One says,
Of it peeing?
tickle my tummy to make me happy.
Uh-huh.
And it's a kid tickling his tummy. And then there's just a kid looking at it. And it says, I pee and fart. And there's a yellow light coming out of its undercarriage.
Yeah, it like shines a yellow light and plays a sound that sounds like pissing. That sounds like a stream of urine hitting the floor.
These interactive videos are great, Tom.
You really can't get over these interactive videos, huh?
Well, they show you exactly how the toys work.
Yeah. Do you think that they worried like, people might not buy the toy? They could just play with the interactive video.
Listen to how gross this sounds.
Oh no, he's peeing on my neighbor's rug. What should I do? You better leave a note.
Leave a whole greeting card about it.
I also saw they're bringing back the Animal. Do you remember the Animal, the truck with claws that came out of the tires?
No, that was a thing when we were...
Yeah, when we were kids. There were a bunch of toys I saw that were just like stuff they're bringing back from yesteryear. Which I guess makes sense. Like when we were kids, they brought out like stuff our parents had. It was like throwback things.
Like Betsy Wetsy.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't actually bring that back. I just know about that from like 90s pop culture.
Well, so now you're just talking about the toys that pee or poop.
Yeah.
Right. But even that, it was like Betsy Wetsy wasn't peeing for laughs. It was to be a more realistic doll to persuade you away from having babies out of wedlock.
That's what it was? That's why they
I
gave
think
it
that
to,
was
like,
the point of that
6-year-old
toy.
girls?
Yeah, you gotta instill that fear in them young.
Well, now you got a big fucking mess to clean up. So how do you like that? Babies, not so cute anymore, are they?
Yeah, it came with another little box that would say that when that happened. Well, now you got another fucking mess to clean up. I hope it was worth it. Having premarital sex.
Freaking.
There's also this is not. I thought this was along the same lines as Gotta Go Flamingo, because that's from a company called Little Live Pets. Mm-hmm. This is from a company called Pets Alive, and it's Fifi the Flossing Sloth.
Okay.
And now you're probably thinking, oh, that's good. That teaches kids dental hygiene. Mm-hmm. No, Tim, it's the popular dance flossing is what Fifi does.
You mean to tell me they built a sloth that could floss better than I can?
Yeah, probably.
And boy, is Fifi reasonably priced.
How much is Fifi?
$15, $14.99.
Wow. So you've really only got to pay a premium if you want your toy to shit or piss.
Yeah, which I understand. I understand why.
How many of those are left?
This I'm finding on Target. It looks like it's in stock.
Enough are left that they don't feel the need to have to warn you about it.
Yeah. Let's see if even Walmart.
Even if I put 100 in my basket, they're still in stock.
Tom, what toy was it that you bought a bunch of? Like, it was probably like 2006, 2007, and we were roommates, and you saw on the local news that this toy was going to be the hottest Tickle Me Elmo since Tickle Me Elmo.
I think it might have been the Chicken Dance Elmo.
Your plan was to resell them, right?
Yeah, it was to gouge parents.
Did you do that?
No, it turned out like not being that hot of a toy, so I just returned them. Because I couldn't flip them for more money. They were too easy to get.
You had a lot of schemes when you were younger.
Yeah. What's so wrong about that? Paying out?
Pay off?
Yeah, some of them paid off. That
I feel
one.
like you're not going to tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you which ones paid off. I mean, that one didn't pay off, but I also didn't lose anything because I was able to just go ahead and return them.
You lost your time.
It wasn't that much time. And back then, my time was worth nothing.
That's true.
I
remember I was somehow inconvenienced, though. I feel like I
stored them in your room.
No, you were you were at work, so like I had to be home to like accept the package or something.
To entertain them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those Elmos, man, they like to play peekaboo.
if they didn't have somebody doing the chicken dance with them, they were pissed. I saw this other toy called Deer Pong, like beer pong, but it's like a deer, a buck with horns, and then the horns are holding cups, and you have to bounce ping pong balls into the cups. Now, I feel like that's a bad idea for kids. It's ages 8 and up, because you're teaching them how a drinking game works.
Yeah, you're teaching them valuable skills that they could use in like 5 years.
I don't know. It just seemed like a weird ad, but it also looked kind of fun because it can be mounted to the wall if you wanted, and it would sass you, the deer. It would sass you if you missed. And
like the clown in a dunk tank?
Exactly. And it would say things. Well, some of the jokes were lame, but one of them I wrote down was, hope your aim's better in the bathroom.
Yeah, so you don't piss all over
Yeah,
the seat.
it's again about pissing. So they even found a way to work pissing into this toy that, didn't even have any genitals. It's just a head mounted.
You checked, right?
Well, it's just a head mount. There might be genitals on the other side of the
that's
piece
the
of wood it's mounted to.
When you're looking for a toy, you're just like, well, number one, does it poop or pee? Uh-huh. Number two, can I locate its genitals very quickly?
Well, if I'm looking for a hot toy, Tim, it seems like they all have one thing in common, and it's that. And along those lines, one of the other hot toys. Now, at first blush, this has nothing to do with pooping or peeing, but take a closer look at the chocolate pen, and you'll find that it sure looks like it has something to do with pooping.
The chocolate pen?
Yeah, it's a pen that writes in chocolate.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be for aspiring bakers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Although
that's cool.
When I was a kid, if I had a pen that could dispense chocolate, I would just suck on that pen.
I know you would, but you're.
It just seems like I don't know. You'd have to have like a good kid to trust them with a chocolate pen.
Yeah, guess what? Some people have good kids.
I wasn't even trusted with crayons until I was a teenager.
Tom, we're running low on time. Do you have a favorite toy this year that you might pick up for yourself?
I did so this is a toy that when I was a kid, I would have loved this toy. And it's basically just a toy vending machine.
Oh, and it's run by the internet boy.
Yeah, I think you mean the kidfluencer.
There's like this child who's a freaking multimillionaire.
Yeah, named Ryan, and he
doesn't even have like
a
funny name. His name's just Ryan.
Yeah, just a normal name. He used to do unboxing videos of toys. But then he's now branched into, having his own toys, his own line of toys, which obviously is the next step.
Unboxing videos, Tom. I still don't understand. I was explaining unboxing videos to my parents the other day.
Why?
Because here's the thing.
You're like, I'm quitting my job to start an unboxing channel.
No, it's just that my niece and nephew don't get a lot of screen time, a lot of TV time.
Right.
And my parents are classic boomer grandparents where they're oh, what's the harm? You guys were in front of the TV.
Yeah, my mom's the same way.
And it's like, you don't know
what it's like out there now.
There are thousands and thousands of hours of videos of children opening toys on YouTube that other children will watch and be hypnotized for hours and hours at a time.
One of this kid's videos, titled "Huge Egg Surprise Toys Challenge," has over 2 billion views.
And I bet that's like, 500 million kids that have all watched it like 4 times. Like,
yeah, probably
these kids will watch it over. It's insane. They gotta freaking unplug the dang internet at some point.
But anyway, this little boy, he makes a toy that's just a toy vending machine, and it has 16 surprises inside. Now, when I was a kid, I loved vending machines, so I would have gone gaga for a toy like this.
Do they have slime hands in there? Sticky slime hands?
I think they do, or I think they have ooze in there. So not slime hands, but slime. Right. Good enough, I guess. And I don't know if it's the kind of thing you could probably put your own things in those capsules or whatever, play with it over and over again.
Yeah, I think.
But I was a weird kid. Like I would open up my toys, play with them, and then I would put them back in the box, try and get it exactly like it was before, just so I could open it up again, pretend like I was opening it for the first time.
Yeah, that's weird. That's
well, nowadays, if I were a kid now, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I remember when I was a kid, I always wanted a gumball machine, even though I didn't like chewing gum.
I think I had a gumball machine when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Was it on a stand?
No, it wasn't one that you could put quarters in or anything. It was more of a gum dispenser, I would say.
I knew someone who had a gumball machine, a Teddy Ruxpin, and a jukebox in their house.
Wow.
Yeah.
that must have been the party house.
It's cool as hell. And a big screen TV. Man, it was nice going over there.
Wow.
Kids were nice, too.
Sounds like it.
Tom, it sounds like your dog is going nuts.
My dog is going nuts, as earlier described. I've been in this room recording for an hour, so the dog thinks I'm dead.
Why don't you just let her in the room with you?
Because then she wants to get out of the room.
So then you let her out.
Then I have to get back up again.
You're 6 inches from the door.
No, Tim, I'm feet from the door. Even with my reach, I can't reach that door handle. Even with my substantial reach.
All right, do the plugs.
If you like the show, check out tcgte.com for more. If you want to support the show, check out our sponsors. Also, check out patreon.com/complete guide for our secondary show, Books to Podcasts. This week, we are reading part 2 of Nothing Lasts Forever, the book Die Hard was based on. Patreon.com/complete guide. For that, follow us on Twitter at Complete Guide. Follow us on Instagram at TCGTE. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at Your Pal Tim.
And Tim, do you want to plug your Amazon wish list where people can buy you toys?
I don't have an Amazon wish list, Tom.
Yeah.
I would recommend people go out to their local Dunkin's toy chest. Their local Dunkin's toy chest for all their toy shopping. And avoid the bald man this year for all your Christmas shopping.
Jeff Bezos. I thought you were talking about like Santa Claus's enemy or something that I was some new lore that I wasn't privy to.
Jeff Bezos does look like the anti-Santa Claus.
He looks a little like Heat Miser from those old claymation.
The Rankin Bass. ones.
Yeah. He doesn't physically. He's got a similar smile to Heat Miser, I think.
Yeah, I think he just went from such a schlub to like a cartoon supervillain.
Yeah.
In appearance.
Well, he's rich, so he's like, hey, I'm rich. I want to be in good shape now.
Yeah.
And he got in good shape.
I'm going to get in good shape.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get rich.
You'll
see.
I'm going to get rich by being in good shape.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be in all those physique magazines, Tom.
Physique magazines. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Physique magazines? You mean muscle magazines, not physique magazines.
Yeah, they're called a lot of different things.
Oh boy, look at the physique on this guy.
Tom, what was the best toy you ever received as a gift?
I think it was probably the year I got a Super Nintendo. Because that was all I asked for, but it was a surprise that I also got Street Fighter 2.
Oh, wow.
So that was like a big deal for me.
Was it a big deal for your parents to be like, well, this is, it's not a Sega system. It seems our son is graduating from being a scumbag to being a normal kid. Thank God. They were wiping the sweat off their brow.
No, they were like, oh man, it looks like our kid's going from being cool to being a baby.
I mean, Street Fighter 2 was the scummiest Super Nintendo game.
At the time, yeah. It wasn't scummy, though. It was still good. And that version didn't even have blood in it. When you punch guys, sweat came out.
You'd have to walk to the smoke shop to play that.
Right,
version.
to see some real blood.
Yeah.
All right. That's the toys. That's the toys that matter. And we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.